Welcome back to Patriot Network TV. Quick update on our old friend Jim Cameron. Jim Cameron, fresh from his incredible film success in the movie Avatar, issued a challenge to all the people who disagree with the global warming alarmists. And he said, I want to call out those deniers out into the street at high noon and shoot it out with those boneheads. That's a direct quote from an interview that he gave earlier this year. And it came to pass that in August 19th to the 22nd, there was a great big American Renewable Energy Day conference up in Aspen, Colorado. And a group of people, the folks who put on Not Evil, Just Wrong, challenged Mr. Cameron to this debate where, and he'd already called them deniers. I want to call those deniers out into the street at high noon and shoot it out with those boneheads. So they said, fine, we'd love to debate you. Tell us when and where to be there and we'll debate you. Well, Mr. Cameron went through a series of machinations that began with, I will choose who's on each side. They said, fine. He said, I'll choose what format it is. Oh, that's fine too. I'll choose how long it is. Oh, that's fine too. Every single demand he made, the folks on the other side said, that's fine. Whatever you want to do is fine. We just want a chance to debate you in public. You called us out. You called us names. You called us deniers. You've compared us to Holocaust deniers. We just want to say that we're U.S. citizens who have a different point of view, and we've looked at the science and we disagree with you on the science. That's all. So Mr. Cameron, after making these bold statements, gonna be the sheriff, gonna call him out at high noon, gonna get these bonehead deniers and get them straightened out. It turns out that Mr. Cameron appears to be a giant coward because he wouldn't debate him. He kept adding requirements, adding requirements, adding requirements. They agreed to every single requirement. And what happened in the end was, at the very end, he refused to debate him. And his excuse was, and this is the Gore excuse, well, if I debate with you, I'll just add credibility to your side of the argument. Well, you can't have it both ways. If you're going to call me a denier and say I've got nothing to say, you either have to debate me or you have to go through all of my literature, point by point, and reject it. And it isn't a question of if Mr. Cameron turned chicken, it's a question of when he turned chicken. Yeah, let's see, the quote here from the folks on the other side, but this is not going to happen because somewhere along the way, James Cameron, a great filmmaker, has moved from king of the world to being king of the hypocrites. What's funniest about this to me is, if you've got the research, and I'm going to tell you this as someone who's done actual research, if you go out into the field and collect real data, and then you do the statistical analysis, and then you write it up, and the results are very, very powerful, you can't wait to get in there. You're licking your chops to get in there and debate the other side because you got the numbers. And the numbers, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but they're not entitled to their own facts. The reason that Mr. Gore won't debate, the reason that Mr. Cameron won't debate, the reason that none of the global warming alarmists will debate is that what they have is a religion, not science. And it's a sad day for Mr. Cameron, who in many ways tried to be a real fair broker on this, but when push came to shove, he turned out, and again, barring their quote, he turned out to be the king of the hypocrites. Mr. Cameron, debate me. I'm just a guy who lives in Prescott, Arizona. Come on and debate me. We'll put it on YouTube. You ought to be able to kick my butt. Let's see, what's your phrase? I want to take those deniers out on the street at high noon and shoot it out with those boneheads. Well, here's a bonehead who's calling you out. I'm calling you out. Come to Prescott. We'll debate in public, any place, anytime. Unless, of course, you are chicken, Mr. Cameron. King of the world.